You're welcome back to the chat right here on ChannelOne TV with me, Kumsin. You can find me on all social media platforms at PK_Kumsin. Kumsin spelled with a double N. You can also send us a message on our WhatsApp number 0204447033 or drop us a message on all social media platforms with the hashtag there chat. Today we are going to go into a very interesting and a deep conversation because we've been talking about this for some time now, and it's all about the Grammys, one of the most coveted awards or award schemes in the world. Everybody's looking forward to grabbing a Grammy one way or the other. So we've been actually clamoring for Africans, Ghanaians, and everyone to be able to grab a Grammy from here. And the Grammy also thought it twice to say, hey, now let's introduce a category that is going to focus solely on music from Africa or music performance from Africa, which got everybody excited because we all thought that would be a good way for us to now be able to grab a Grammy. But now it looks like 3 years on, I think, and we've still not gotten that coveted nomination from Ghana, to be precise, that we've been looking forward to. Yes, we've had someone in there who has been blazing the trail for years now. He has now grabbed, I think, 4 nominations so far, talking about the venerable Rocky Dauni. But now everybody was thinking, oh, music made from home, music grown from here will be able to make it. But hey, we've not been able to grab that. But Thames, Burna Boy, and others have been able to grab this Grammy award for the African part. Even a nomination, we fall short. So we'll be talking about that today. We want to know what is going on there. And joining me to do this conversation, to have this interesting conversation, I have a big man. He is a voice. He is a gatekeeper when it comes to the Ghana music industry. Now he's looking at it globally from the global perspective, and he's actually doing very well for himself. George Britton, all the way in the UK. How are you doing, George? Hello, George. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing?
Very well, my brother.
It feels
Merry
so
Christmas. No, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
You just made me choke on air, but yeah. I mean, Happy New Year is in order because we've not seen each other in a very...
Definitely.
Yeah,
So
like we've not even had any
New Year.
encounter this year, so it's good to actually wish each other Happy New Year. But how's your festive season? Let me start from there because I don't think I've spoken to you the whole of this year, so it'll be good to know.
Not at all. In London, usually, in the UK, usually Christmas, it's always about, family gathering, eating, and go back to your room because the weather is so cold. So, we gathered at my big wife's house, had a very good dinner, lounge dinner and everything. Afterwards,
nice.
just come back home and stay at home all throughout the weekend, all throughout the Christmas period. In the UK, it's different from Ghana. No parties because it's icy, like I said.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's so good.
Interesting. What was the last time you were in Ghana, by the way?
So I came to Ghana on the, I think 24th of November.
Wow.
Till 7th of December, 8th December after the elections.
Oh, okay.
And
You left
actually,
us.
so, yeah.
That's very interesting. But now let's get into our conversation for today. Did you even watch the Grammys? Let's start from there. And what was your general impressions of the, whole awards ceremony that was organized all the way in the States?
Yes, I did watch. I watched for the premiere event and then the main event. I watched, and beautiful. I watched the event and it was just beautiful. This was the night to celebrate musicians, the night to celebrate creatives in and around the world. And it was beautiful to see some amazing winners. It was beautiful to see Africans in there. It was good to see, our music being heard. And yeah, it was good to also see Angelique Kidjo on stage to perform. So it was another great night for, the industry.
All right. So, I don't know if my director has this now, but I want to start it off with the message from Thames because she picked up the African performance and I will be back to talk more about it. So let's check this out and I'll be back to talk more about it.
Sure,
my heart is beating so fast. I'm so sorry. I do work out. But it's not coming, it's not showing up right now. Wow. Dear God, thank you so much for putting me on this stage and bringing me this team. And tomorrow is my mom's birthday, and this is her first Grammys. And I just want to thank you, Mom, because she's really done a lot for me and my brother. And oh my goodness. Happy birthday, Mom. And I want to thank my team, Muiwa Wale, my beautiful stylist, Dunsin Wright, my lovely girls, Yvonne and Rochelle and Kayla and Ashanti and Sarah. I love you guys. Thank you so much. To God be the glory, because honestly, He's changed my life so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, God.
You're welcome back. So, George, I mean, we just heard from a recent, let me put it that way, winner of the African Performance category for the Grammys. For you, you know how award schemes and winner's speech we take it here in Ghana. What is it a big deal, or was it wrong on her side that she didn't acknowledge Guilty in as much as Guilty was right on stage with her?
Oh no, I mean usually times like that, too many things in the head. So a moment like that, when you get on stage, but things going through your head, you might not even know what's going on. But I mean, everyone knows Guilty, performed this. There were other two gentlemen standing behind him who have been very instrumental in her career, but she didn't mention them. So no, nothing. I mean, you could see them. You could see them, on the red stage, on the red carpet, and it was beautiful. So the event was actually held in two different auditoriums.
Oh.
The first one was held in a much smaller venue.
Yes, yeah.
Then moved to the other one. So, I mean, for Guilty, people out here know Guilty and knows what he's done. He's done stuff for Beyonce and co. So it wasn't anything like. He wasn't mentioned, and there was any problem. Now it's calm.
That's nice. But now let's settle on Guilty beats for a few minutes, or we're talking about this, because Ricky will also be joining us very soon, so we'll be able to have an extensive conversation about that. But have we, as Ghanaian creatives, underutilized Guilty beats, in your opinion? Because I feel like we have him. He's now doing works for people out there. Did works for Beyonce, she won a Grammy, has done works for Thames, she's now won a Grammy. But here, we've not really seen his works. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Have we underutilized him on this side, or we don't get a kwacha to pay for it?
Underutilized? No, I think Guilty was in Ghana for a very long time until Mr. Easy came around. He started working with Mr. Easy. Of course, exposed him to the world. He moved to the UK, and he's been swinging between the UK and America for some time now. I mean, he's still a producer. I've seen him. I saw him at I think last time I saw him was at the King Promise concerts. Yeah, I mean, he's very much available to work with anyone. I think where he's positioned now, you will have to pay him well.
He's not a Grammy award-winning producer.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think last year you won a Grammy. And last year I think with Beyonce's album or something like that you won.
Renaissance, yeah.
Yeah, and this year too. So I mean, he's a very good talent. He's a very calm. He hardly speaks. I
find it very interesting because you barely see him post on social media. You barely see him doing. He's the real definition of work in silence and let your success make all the noise.
No, right? He's a quiet gentleman, very introvert. I'll put it that way, because he's always in the studio working, and he's a fantastic guy, doing amazing stuff. I think, before 2020, he worked with quite a number of Ghanaian artists. Even after, I think we even had a project with him. Kamido had a project with him. One of our projects was on there. So, Guilty is available. I mean, if you're a Ghanaian artist and you want to work with him. But then, it doesn't just end there. You have to also work, on the song, and as well as promote the music, So it's just not about the producing of the song. You have to also put in some effort to market the song. And I think the team, Thames team and everybody involved did a great job, yeah.
All right. Now, I mean, just hold your thoughts there, because I have right here in studio with me, Ricky, Tennyson, who is a music producer or music executive and also artist and repertoire. How you doing, Ricky?
Very well, sir.
I mean, it feels good to see you. I mean, in person. I've heard a lot about you, but I've never seen you before, so it feels good to see you.
Thank you
finally.
very much.
But did you, watch the Grammys? Have you seen the Grammys? But before that, how are you doing, by the way?
I'm good.
Are you doing
I'm
good?
good. Yeah, I'm good.
That's
I'm
nice.
good.
I hope the new year is going well with you.
Yeah, it started very well. Yeah.
Oh,
the new year
anything you want to
started.
share with us that made it start very well?
It's still in the pipeline, so I wouldn't want to. Yeah, but there were a lot of things we pitched last year, a lot of conversations we had last year, and a lot of people were like, oh, because of the elections that are happening in your country, all of that. Fortunately, that's over now, and the conversations seem to be moving very well. Yeah, so maybe obviously by end of first quarter, you guys will hear a lot of things.
So good news from your side.
Yeah, no, I mean from Ghana,
From Ghana.
Yeah, the whole idea is to push a lot of new artists into the market and then onto the global scale. And those conversations have been going on. Fortunately, it looks good. It looks good.
That's good to hear. That means your new year is starting on a very good note.
Very good note.
All right, but did you see the Grammys? Were you able to watch it, and what were your impressions?
I followed commentary and snippets of the post event on socials. So in regards to everything that has to do with the Grammys, we did well to follow. Yeah, to know. Sometimes some of us are losing interest because Charlie, we do the far.
You are losing interest.
Yeah, I mean for us,
for you,
because most of the times the commentary after Grammys is Ghana, Niger, Ghana. What are people doing? And that's why I'm saying that some of us are tired of that conversation because clearly, we are not pushing, we are not pushing the envelopes enough, and so it's possibly affecting Ghana's presence, because when you speak of Afrobeats and the dominance and the recognition and even the development of Afrobeats, Ghana plays a key role.
We always say that, but then why is it not reflective in when it comes to like the global stage? Why is it that when it comes to the global stage, yes, we play a key role, or we've played a key role in the evolution of Afrobeats,
yeah.
But then when it gets to recognition on the global stage, Nigeria seems to be ahead of us.
Yeah.
What could be contributing to this? And it's to you, both you and George. I would really want to pick your thoughts on this, because I find it very interesting, and it's heartbreaking also that we pride ourselves playing a key role, but then when we get to the top recognition stage, and we don't get anything.
Well, obviously, a number of factors, a number of key factors, and maybe we should just accept that we are mothers, or we are people who only birth ideas. And because you cannot have it all. Football did not really start in England. It started elsewhere. England has now taken over and is actually dominating or leading the charge when it comes to football. Spain has tried. They've taken Cristiano Ronaldo from the EPL to the Spanish La Liga and all of that, but they've not been able to still match up what the EPL is doing. So maybe, just maybe, we should get to a point to understand that, look, we are that hub or that industry that that is good with ideas or development, and then others can take it to the next level. That will help us and force us not to envy or not, force us not to feel a certain type of way. If we understand that, because there are some clubs, like I relate it to football, because there are some clubs who understand Ajax, or there are some who they know I cannot compete with Manchester United. No matter how poor Manchester is playing, I cannot compete with them. I always sell my players to them. And I think maybe because when it comes to movies, we're one of the first people. Nigerians were actually enjoying our movies back then. When you listen to legendary actors, they all actually make references to Ghana.
Ghana's movie,
Music, same thing. Even fashion. A lot of Nigerian fashion designers actually, connect or associate a lot of their success or their interest or finding a certain passion in fashion from Ghana. It's unfortunate we are not able to take it to the next level. And so maybe because of numbers, maybe numbers are also impacting us a lot, you know. So clearly for the Grammys, to stick to the Grammys, a lot of key factors which George will attest to. You know, Nigeria has a proper structure in regards to their music industry. And we say structure, it not be buildings or anything, but mainly the existence of labels. Look, 80%, when you move to Nigeria now and you want to sign an artist in Nigeria, 80% of the artists are actually properly signed under majors. The majors being the Universal, you know, the Warners, the Sony Musics, a lot of their artists, either through distribution deals, through publishing deals, through 360 deals, they actually understand what it means. So that's why when I come to you and I say, look, I want to do a collaboration with you, it is not the usual, oh, we the vibe, so make we enter studio and make we knock out. No, it is a lot of structure, it is a lot of processes, and everybody in the value chain seems to benefit. Unlike here, which is just a vibe. Like, you know, if you look at our biggest artists, someone like maybe Sarkodie, someone like Shatawale, aside but for Stonebwoy, two of our major artists have never, you know, tasted a record label structure before. They have not really gone through it. They have not really been through it proper. And it's a big blow, you know, because even sometimes, by virtue of the fact that Sarkodie has signed to a major, everybody else around him, from his A&R team to his manager to his road manager to everybody, they also begin to understand the structures of industry. They also begin to understand how to engage artists properly, artist riders, all of those things. It comes back to help industry. Nigeria has that, you know, and so for the first step, it is something that we are lacking. If you enter into Nigeria, a lot of the labels, they actually have offices stationed
local offices.
local offices stationed in Ghana. How many of these offices do you know here in Ghana?
Yeah, I find it very interesting, but let me ask George this: how influential is record labels when it comes to like the Grammys? I'm asking this because, like he's saying, maybe because we've not gotten to that point, that's why we've not been able to go. But how influential is record labels when it comes to the Grammys? Are they that influential in there? Or it's because, I mean, once your song is good and you are not even signed onto a record label, you're likely to even win it?
I mean, record labels are the guys in the room when you're in your house, when you are not present, you know?
Yeah.
They represent you, even in your absence. So they play a major role. They get your music across, across the globe to rooms where you are not. So definitely record label plays a major role. They play a major role. So yeah, they give it. sorry.
No problem. I can see. Yeah, I mean, I wanna Kumu.
I mean, like I said, record labels are the guys, who talk about you or who talk for you, who market your project, who push you, in your absence. And your presence, yes, they put you on stage and all that. So it's really needed. It's something that, unfortunately, in Ghana, I think a year ago, so I had, I said Sarkodie one of the artists made a comment about I think it was Sarkodie, because he actually put it in his music and tried to say, I want to be free, I don't need labels and all that.
Yeah.
But I honestly think where we are now as Ghanaians, we need labels than anything. Because, from this side of the world, the only artists that you hear of them often is Black Sherif and then I Can't Promise. And maybe, let me say, once in a while, hear Stonebwoy's music play on the airwaves. Now, these guys are being backed by the labels. So, if you sit in Ghana and say, "Hey, labels are not good and they are not needed," I think we're doing disservice to ourselves. Reason being that, you see, the problem. I think I don't know what Ricky did mention, but the problem is not the talent. The problem is that in Nigeria, there are a lot of music executives whom equally invest in the space. Unlike Ghana, where we are only invest in the talent. In every industry that thrives, there's so much investment also in the executives. So in Nigeria, from the Godwins to the Larry Gagas, to even Adeshope here, Tracy May. There are quite a number of people in the Nigerian music industry that we don't see them often. We don't see them on stage. They're the guys behind the scenes who are really working for these artists. Everywhere you meet Adeshope or Malay or all these boys names will come up. That is not the situation here in Ghana. In Ghana, the only time the artist's name is mentioned in any meeting is when the artist is there. You know, so that's limited our growth. We are not seen there. A Ghanaian at Spotify, a Ghanaian at YouTube wouldn't even, you know, be talking about Ghanaian artists. Yes, music, Afrobeat is loud in Ghana, or it's coming from Ghana and Nigeria, but we're not doing much to own it.
Yeah.
You understand? And
Yeah.
so there is something missing. I mean, unfortunately for us, our entire industry is about our talent. Whereas if you go to Nigeria, there are people that are not talent, but are very viable in the space. That are the guys who move around the world. Like these guys, the guys that work with Thames, you know, they're very connected in America, very, very connected in America. So, and they're Nigerians. You know, Empire has got some amazing Nigerians in there. Sony Music, all these platforms have got Nigerians in there. So the Nigerian creative industry is empowered, not just by the artists, but everyone in the ecosystem, especially the executives, right? Whereas in our case, it's not like that. I mean, Ricky sitting there is a very smart guy. If Ricky is empowered and Ricky can go into some rooms around the world to discuss music, I'm sure, you know, somebody will look at Ricky and say, you know what, can you get me one or two artists for this event or for that event? Listen, okay, I can't say it now. Nigerians have, you know, done us, you know, a lot of, there was something major that happened to, you know, my camp back then. They were, you know, the call came from a Nigerian, you know, so these guys are out there, but unfortunately, we are not out there. The only people out there are the musicians, and, you know, musician, when he goes, he talks about himself. And the answer.
Would you then agree when we say that in Ghana we really then do not understand the whole business of music? Would it be fair to say?
We don't to some extent. We don't, because, you know, the conversation starts with and ends with the artist. I mean, artist, he comes in, you know, cool, calm boy. The next minute he's telling the world they are spending this money. a lot of bridges needs to be built to get to that level, and by building those bridges, you have to spend money together. You know, so the problem has always been about the artist, and it's really restricting people. He's sitting there. Ricky has an experience.
I mean, anything you want to add to that? I mean, if George are done.
No. So I'm just saying that you know we need more than just the artists to get to the top. We need to encourage labels in the system. We need to treat it like business. You know, meet an average Ghanaian artist and tell him that, oh, I want to help you. I'm a businessman. How do I help you? He will tell you, oh, boss, I go hit. When I hit, I go pay your money. But that's not how the language is, you know, in the world. Yeah, they will tell you, I'll play shows and I'll pay you. Oh, boss, me, I go hit, I go play shows. No, you know, we need to engage in the service of proper businessmen. Proper, what's it called, business developers, financial guys, to be able to do our projections and develop our business plans and everything like that. So when you sit in front of a businessman, he knows what you're about. How do you also put these things together? You need somebody in your team who understands these things. Get me? So it's not just about, I mean, gone are the days where we just had one boy following an artist and said his manager. These are just, you know, they are no more. I mean, if you just follow the artist and say you're a manager and all you do is pick calls for shows and all that, you guys are going nowhere. So until we understand that this is business and we need to involve the right people to help elevate our career, it is just going to be like this. The artist will come, get one hit song, come to London, perform to Ghana community, go to Italy, Germany. They'll come and tell you that he's been sleeping in an airplane just for fun and all this, and, you know, go back home, and when the hits don't come again, then it becomes a problem. So we are just moving around a small circle. Where we can do major things in Ghana. I'm talking about some young, very, very young, and I mean, Sadiq is one of them. You know, Sadiq is a very smart. Baba Sadiq is the, you know, Ricky himself is in there. There are quite a number of
a number, actually. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
good
the
you're
thing is
mentioning
that-
this. It's
Yeah,
good you're
yeah.
mentioning this because I realized that sometimes when we talk about music executives, I remember one time a friend of mine was like, "Oh, me, I won't do A&R," and I was like, "What is A&R?" It was like, "Oh no, we'll just link the people. When they come to Ghana, we'll arrange interviews for them. We'll do this." And in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, is that onto a job?" And that was the very
Yeah.
back there when I didn't even
Yeah,
understand
the
anything about all of
naive,
this. I'm just
yeah.
like, is that onto a job that somebody
Yeah,
does?
yeah.
And then I was in Kenya. And then I was engaging one member of the Salty Soul team.
Right.
And then I was like, yo, what do you do? He's like, oh, I'm on air now. I'm with Soul Generation. And I'm like, so are you paid every month? He's like, yeah. I'm on the payroll.
Yeah.
I do this, I do that. I link them. And I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
that means we are not doing something right.
Yeah.
So like you wanted to add to, the
Yeah.
whole music business conversation we're having.
George made a very, very important statement that in Ghana, the music only revolves around the artist. The most important person in the room in Ghana is the artist. And you and I know that if today I want to go to a brand to even pitch anything to for Kiddy, for Sarkodie or for whoever, the brand wants to see Sarkodie in the room before they feel confident to even have a conversation. And it's even a problem. So George is right, that we need to empower more. We have to be intentional to say that, look, this year or this month, we are going to hold X amount of workshops just to elevate execs or just to elevate people who actually have interest in music. Because around the world, if you wake up today, you realize that, Virgin Music has appointed this person, this Nigerian person, as head of whatever here. This person is head of this here. This person is vice president here. This person. All what that is doing is empowerment. Most of them do not really have a vast skill and knowledge in some of the roles, but they understand that the way the business works, by the time you'll be engaged in A, B, C, D deals, engagements, practices, and all of that, in a year, it will change a lot of things.
A lot.
Boomplay actually came to Ghana, and by virtue of recruiting young people to work in their organization, it shaped the minds of a lot of people. These young people helped a lot of other artists to properly grow and understand some of the things that happen. Look, the whole Blacko deal, the Empire deal he got was actually from people in Boomplay. Execs in Boomplay actually led a lot of the artists from Yao Tog to Black Sheriff to whatever to Empire, because then now they had an organization or they had a go-to, execs who they could rely on and pitch to them. Unfortunately, all we think about is, I define the artist, and we are never intentional about, impacting. And as I said, a lot of our A-list artists are also not empowering those who are actually following them, because for whatever reason, we should be able to say, this artist that worked with artist A or artist B has picked up another artist and is doing well with the artist. But most of the time, it's not so. I don't know which artist has actually worked with any of our A-list artists and has moved on from that A-list artist and empowered or has actually developed another artist, because even themselves, they follow the artist. They know they really understand what it means to develop and take the artist to the next level. And so it'd be big problem.
And it's just, all you're saying, right, is just playing in my mind that could it then be that sometimes, or these acts that win these Grammys, Africans that win these Grammys, is not necessarily the artist that is going out there to build relationships with everyone. Like we saw, I think, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago when the Stonebwoy tried to, engage with Taylor Swift, and they were like, and everything.
You see?
But then it could then be that even Thames probably has not even formed personal relationships with all these people in the room, but the execs have been able to go out there.
That's how it's just supposed to be, not to catch you. That's just how it's supposed to be, you see? And that's why sometimes we have to give props to Stonebwoy, because he's doing a lot for himself. Like, most of the moves he's making are actually for himself. Like, he's making them on his own. Realistically, Charlie, that not forbid the thing. Sometimes if some of the things you go cringe self, because people, the machine for work for you. It's not you stressing yourself.
Build the machinery.
Yeah, you have to, the machine, the people they do your back for fee enter the rooms and have the right conversations. And that's one thing I always give credit to George for, not because he's on, but we also saw what he did for Camido. He was actually the guy in the room speaking to every stakeholder, every important person in the room to actually put Camido on. And everybody in Ghana could attest to that. Like, if you need anything from Camido, you need to speak to George, because George understood the media language. He understood how to say, yo, look, put my boy on. We are signing an agreement, or between us, I know that anytime City TV, City FM needs George or needs Camido, we are actually going to elevate him. And that's actually what happens across the world, where they are intentional about saying that, look, put my boy on. This is what we are doing. We are also going to open the African market for you. We are also going to, it is not the artist forcing himself on the other, like, you know, because it makes you look cheap. You know, if you're in the room begging for favors, begging for opportunities and all of that, it doesn't give the artist that value, because when you're working, and it's natural, it's human, you know, nature. If you've come to beg me for money and you are going about showing off with my money, I know they value the swag. Like, I don't value it. But if I don't know how it happened, and behind, I'm actually seeing you making major moves, I value it. It means a lot to me, you know, and that's what we are missing. And you see, there are lots of things that we are yet to meet, because if you look at these Nigerians, as I said, first I said the structure, there's an issue of structure which we don't have, like artists being engaged in labels. We're lacking that. These labels, what they do for you is to give you global reach or global presence. What that means is, how many of Ghanaian songs have you seen top Billboard charts? You haven't topped the Billboard chart, you haven't even appeared on a Billboard chart. No be the one way they go pay for Baco. No, proper your song doing well in the, you know, on the global market and Billboard recognizing you. We've not been able to get there. How do you expect to get to the Grammy board? How do you expect to get to the Academy and be recognized? None of our artists have actually been able to, you know, achieve that feat. Even in terms of media and PR, you should be placed in Pitchfork, Rolling Stone magazine, The Fader. These are major magazines that these people actually play with, they associate with on a daily, they see on their news feed and all of that. None of us are actually getting that, you know, because, you know, even between you and I, citynews.com, there's
City News Online.
Sorry,
City FM Online.
City FM Online. There's the ones that City FM properly prioritize, and there's the one that is just for, you know, someone pays behind and they inside. Yeah, exactly. And there's the one that they properly prioritize. I'm not saying the one way they inside. No, proper pitching and proper feature on these blogs and on these Billboard platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, they are actually topping the charts. If you are not there, you will not be recognized. Let me give you a simple analogy, you know, so George can also come in.
Sure.
It's just like our local awards, Ghana Music Awards, 3 Music Awards. A lot of people in the other regions cry that, oh, the awards be Accra Awards, the awards be Accra Awards. It no be so. It be Accra Awards because this is the market. This is actually the core market. And if the core people, which is the likes of George and other Samoa Bedu, the industry heads, don't know your music, how would they sit in the boardroom and recommend that they nominate you for X Song of the Year? So what you need to do is to now move, associate, collaborate, partner, and make sure that these industry, you know, heads or these industry stakeholders know you, or they have direct access to your music. And that's not what we are doing.
All right. And now let me know, how important should your production be, the production of your song be, for you to be able to land these Grammy nominations, because, or even win an award? Reason why I'm asking this is because you realize sometimes they say, oh, I mean, you've not produced or you've not worked with a Grammy award winning producer, which then means that our artists are now moving or now living here to go find these producers and work with them. The fact that I've worked with a producer, does it mean, or what leverage does it give me when it comes to like the Grammys? And I'll start this with George.
Of course. Sorry. Am I live? Yeah.
Yeah, you're live.
Of course, music production is key. We all need that level of, you know, production, bro. When you go to some studios here, they'll tell you that music is science. So you need to know what you are doing. And then again, another thing I've realized is that music production is not just about one person who opens his laptop, creates music, and the song goes live. It goes through a lot of people. I remember Tyler's music like this. There was Sammy Soso, Sammy, a Ghanaian producer, but based in the UK. There was Ebenezer Maxwell, and there's another Richard something. Now, this music goes through channels, to get to a level where we call the world standard. So when you hear the sound, it is big. Now, unfortunately for us, it's always, Dr. Ray miss, somewhere, he fixes the music and put it online. What we are saying is that, and then again, one of the problems that we have in Ghana is that most of the softwares we use in mastering music or producing music are not the original ones. They are, what's it called?
The crack versions?
The crack versions. So you don't get the full
complement of the software.
Of the software. So what happens is, you probably are enjoying 10% of the software. So the other 90%, you don't own it.
Wow.
So that is very key. Some of the softwares cost a lot, $4,000, $5,000 plus dollars to get it. And unfortunately, in our space, because we don't treat this as business, Charlie, I go download something, crack and put it down. Yes, music production is key in the Grammys and even the world standard. When you're producing content, bro, you can take a Shaggy music that was produced in 1995 and today play it, and you still feel the freshness and the quality of music. I was speaking to some DJs here, and they'll tell you that some songs that come from Ghana and other part of Africa, it drops. The quality drops when you mix it with other songs. So there's a lot of work for us to, there's a lot for us to be done with regards to music production. It's heavy. They actually look at these things because Grammy, mind you, Grammy is made up of 13,000 members, and these are music people.
Yeah, because I hear, this person has joined the academy from Ghana. This person has joined the academy from Ghana.
No, those joining, they'll not be proper joining. We have, that's no. I'm talking about, the 13. There are people with music ears, bro.
Yeah.
Music is, when you meet correct music people, they discuss music in a very different way. Every day I ask myself that why is it that usually some music engineers are the older folks with big beard and all that? Why is it always so? But we as people, we like to enjoy the music, but the creative bit is what I don't think, we might know, but we don't have the supported tools or the tools to take, our music out there. It doesn't also mean that we cannot get there. We can produce music in Ghana, ship it to somebody in America, or like that, the days of that Lumba and Co. They record in Ghana and ship it to Germany.
For the mastering.
What's his name? I forgot his name. The old German guy. He's late though. But the Steiger will, work on. So we need a system. So we need the softwares, to be able to help us get there. We are producing very good music. What's his name? Olive the Boy.
Olive the Boy, yeah. Beats Vampire.
All these guys are doing good. There's Black Coast music. There's some type of sound that you hear, and you only know that probably if it gets a world standard, mix and mastering, it will take us there. But then again, that is one bit of it. Another bit is marketing. Marketing and promotion of music is also key, bro. Ghana music marketing is kind of lost in Europe. I know in America it's another story, but it's kind of lost. If you don't hear your Ghanaian, probably small Ghanaian radio stations are kind of playing it, or the Ghanaian playing it on the on their devices. It's difficult to the mainstream radio here. Listen, I live in the UK here, and we own a platform called Revolve Music.
Yeah, now, Revolve.
If I tell the number of Nigerians who have called our number or even sent us an email to find out how they can get their content on Revolve Music, bro, it will amaze you.
And then Ghanaians are not even calling to even...
No, because they know, or maybe because somebody behind it.
Yeah.
You get me? So we don't kind of trust ourselves or even look at us to support ourselves. We just want people from afar. but not even everyone knows that, I'm involved in the Revolve thing. But Nigerians are sending us email every day. They are calling the number, sending WhatsApp messages. Oh, I've got this song. Not just Nigerians. I think the guys in East Africa are doing the same too. They're sending emails, they're sending messages, calling, oh, how do we do this? How do we do that? How do we get our content there? But unfortunately, ours is not like that. We want to hit in Ghana. It's good, Ghana first and everything else. So we honestly need to engage the right people. Let's like Ricky said. Ricky said, sorry. We need to start organizing workshops, let the right people come, resource people come, help educate us. Some of us will have to invest in ourselves. But we went to Afro Nation without our first Afro Nation, we're not invited. Reach out to some people around Smade himself later, oh, you guys go come. We went out, got our visa, flew from Ghana to France to Portugal, not on our bill, because we wanted this to happen.
Wow.
You get me? You can't sit in Ghana and expect it to be heard. I see some songs and they say, this is a global monster. Yeah. I mean, the probability of it becoming a global monster is 1:100, because in a day, the number of songs that are released, bro, you don't sit there and expect your song to be number one.
Yeah, when you sit in your corner.
No, you have to put in work.
Yeah.
The amount of money these Nigerians are putting in their songs, bro. Only in the UK, they can spend like £500,000 just to get their music ahead.
£500,000.
That is even small.
Oh, wow.
You get me? That is to get your songs ahead.
Anyway, but
you get.
Yeah, I feel you. But I mean, Ricky, how close are we to landing the nomination? And anytime I talk about landing the nomination, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, but Rocky Downey has always, gotten a nomination for us. By the way, we need to find out how is Rocky also doing it, maybe in another conversation. But how close are we when we look at our new school musicians that we have? So the Sarkodie, the Stoneboy, the Samini, the Shatawale, the King Promise, Blacko, Olive the Boy, Kiri, who am I leaving out? The Kwame Eugenes, Kamido, all of them, all these names that I'm mentioning, maybe I've forgotten some of them. I mean, not because I'm deciding not to mention, but they are just not coming readily in my mind. How close are we when you look at our music landscape? How close are we to landing a nomination for any of these new cuts or new school artists?
Charlie, a long way. Yeah,
we have a long way to go.
Yeah. Look, a long way, because a lot of the things that are supposed to be done, we're still not doing it. And I'm not seeing anybody readily available to champion anything. And you see the artists are also part of the problem. So for someone like maybe George, for where he's sitting and what he's beginning to build, for some of us back home, we know what George they do. We know where he they sit and the doors he's trying to unlock.
Yeah.
But you see, it will get to the point where George will not be unlocking those doors for the people down here
in Ghana.
Yes.
But they will be doing it for
if you will be honest.
Yeah.
He will just try to be political about it. But like he said, he has a platform which is doing well, is beginning to grow, to gain attention. If these Nigerians quickly begin to flood it and prioritize it, he will actually unveil or open it up for them. Same thing, we have Rain Labs. It's actually a distribution company. Just recently, they partnered Virgin Music Nigeria.
Yeah. I saw it.
So you saw that publication.
Yeah, I saw that
it's
publication.
Virgin Music Nigeria.
Yeah.
But the guys who are actually leading it are Ghanaians. How did this come about? These guys were helping artists to be playlisted and be given opportunities on Apple Music, Spotify, because some of them worked there. They understood the system, cracked it, and began to start up their own thing. Fortunately or unfortunately, a certain group of Nigerians who also were working with certain labels decided that, look, I've seen what these guys are doing.
Let's bring them on board.
Let's partner. So for me, you see a global partnership, which I'm very, very, very big on, but eventually it will begin to go in advantage.
It wouldn't benefit us.
Exactly, because even the people where they home, when you try to reach out or try to get them to also support what you're doing, the conversation be different, the attitude be some way, and we are in it, so we understand, we know what it means. You know, so unfortunately you begin to realize that we are all building properties, we are all building things, and it is going to go in favor, or like, you know, out there,
benefit people out there.
benefit people out there. So we have a freaking long way,
long
way to go. Trust me.
All right.
Maybe a decade or more.
A decade is actually too much. But then also same thing to George. How close are we? Are we as long as Ricky is saying? He's saying a decade. By your estimation, I mean, how soon, when it comes to like the African music performance category of the Grammys? Because I mean, it was created for Africa, so we are expecting like to see, but then there too, Nigeria is still dominating. How soon can we be able to land a Ghanaian nomination there?
Before you come in, let me just say this, that maybe unless the Nigerians win they tire and now it is not relevant to them again, then they go left for we. Whoa. Yeah, so George, you can come in now.
Yeah, I mean, how soon? How soon? I think the way Black Hole is moving, the way Stone Boy is moving, the way King Promise is moving. We might hear from, we might see these guys on this platform or be getting nominated, sooner or later. These are the only three guys that, from where I sit, I see them. Kiddy has it too, but I think if he can also project himself to the world, he will get a nod. So we're not too far off, but just that we kind of look scattered. We kind of don't have
a united force.
United Force one. The United Force, I don't even want to talk about it because I don't know how we're going to get it again. We used to have it, but usually we create it and destroy it at the same time. We don't necessarily need a united front. If it happens, it's a plus. You get me? That is what is going to give 10 heads to Ghana.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't know how it's even going to happen because there's a big gap between, especially the talent, the guys with the know-how or the pros, right? Let's take someone like Rudy Kwache, who is well connected. Mind you, Rudy Kwache brought MTV and all these people to Ghana back in 2000s, right? Set Rudy Kwache down and let him give you, let him tell you about Ghana artists. So someone like Rudy Kwache in the room will not even mention the Ghanaian artists because of the experiences he's had with them.
Yeah.
Not just him. There are a couple more guys who have had, similar experiences. So it's most people have become bitter dealing with artists in our space. So therefore, if somebody is coming to Ghana to say, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, Z and give me artists, bro, it doesn't really come up like that. Then again, as talents, what are their dreams? What do they want to achieve? If you want to get your music, heard globally, you need to do global stuff. We're not saying go and sing a song that says it's a global. There's no song like that, but the activities around the song.
Yeah.
The activities around the song need to give you that global. You need that global push to get your music there. I mean, if it was left to the song, Ashake would not be where he is now because you and I don't even know what he's saying.
No, Joa. You get what
I mean?
Yeah.
But he's been able to be elevated to the level where he sits in the same room with the Beyoncés and all these things. So most of the times we'll say, the language barrier, we sing Sarkodie sing P. No, he won an award with BET.
Yeah.
The only thing I would like Sarkodie to change the mentality of him not joining a record label to telling the world, especially the young guys coming that, let's say you need a record label, just go in there and sign a contract. And then again, we should get rid of this mentality of, they go chop my money. Bro, whether you saw the Blacks video, training video recently, these people come in and invest heavily in your craft. You get to the top and now you're vexed because somebody's chopping your money. Until we erase that mentality or that thought from our brains and start thinking that, listen, this is business, all right? Somebody invests, we invest and we all chop. It's calm. Nobody, cheating, of course, is not good. But don't sign a 5-year or 5 to 3, 4, 5-year contract. Says, okay, we're going to work within this period of time.
Yeah.
Now, when it hits before the end of the contract, you feel like you're a boss and things will have to change. And that is one of the things that's killing our industry. You know, people have lost interest. The people that can win those. I'm sure Ricky's sitting there. If any artist walks in and say, manage me, he will give you, he won't even mind you. You get me? So if Ricky is working away, if Sadiq is working out, if Rudy Kwachi is working away, and there are other guys in the industry who are working away from this job, the question now becomes, who is to lead the new generation? You know, because if there's no one to lead this Gen Zs or this new generation, it's going to be a problem. So we need to start having that conversation that, listen, we need more labels in the country. It is the labels that are going to pick your song and take it to the world.
Yeah.
Your manager might not have the know-how.
Yes.
You know, because it might be the boy that grew up in the area. One, there's nothing wrong if it's the boy that grew up in the area, but if he's willing to learn and to understand what is happening in the world of music, it is fine. You get me? But if you, the musician, want to be the boss and want things to be done your way, it will not happen.
All right.
Let's treat it as business and treat it as business. Let's allow people in the game. You know, allow people, special people. I mean, people with the know-how.
Yeah, the expertise.
The know-how, expertise coming to the game and directors. We all need these people. We all need these people. We are all learning. And we see how the game is being run by. I mean, in Africa, Nigeria is successful.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you made mention of. I don't know whether you or Ricky made mention of the number of people in Ghana probably might contribute to we not being nominated at the Grammys every day. And anytime number is mentioned, Jamaica comes into play. Jamaica, who is less than 4 million, has been able to get their music across the globe. That means that it is us that are not doing some things right.
Yeah.
We can do it because we did it with Azonto. We can come back and do it again. We just need the right people to open the right doors for us.
Wow. Thank you very, very much. That was very, very elaborate there. Now, Ricky, I mean, your final words before we go.
Finally, I think George is right. I think we need to just elevate. We need to just empower a lot more, you know, execs quickly, you know, before we wrap up, because the industry now is not exciting anymore. You and I know, like a decade ago when you had TikTok, when you had ChannelOne doing things here and all of that, all of those things were actually masterminded by certain key executives. And some of the names that, you know, George was mentioning, Rudy Kwachi, Baba Sadiq, all of these people were actually those who were bringing or opening up for some of these international platforms to come in, collaborate. Two-Face and all of these people, when they were coming in to do things and when things were exciting, it was these people, it was actually executives who were leading and making these things happen. Unfortunately, everybody's tired, everybody's giving up and looking out for themselves. And I just think that we need to go back, you know, to that format so that, you know, the industry can thrive.
All right. Thank you very, very much. I mean, Ricky, for being here with me, and also thank you, George Britton, who is the CEO for Revolve Music. If you're a young talent out there, get in touch with George. I mean, he's always ready to respond to a text. And that's one interesting thing about George that I fancy so much. Like, he's always a text away. Like, you drop him a text and he's always willing to respond. So, Charlie, thank you very much, George, for joining me today. And also thank you, Ricky, for joining me for this conversation. One thing that George said, and I'm going to reiterate that, if you want to go global, start doing global things. And it's going to happen for you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you right after this break as I have a conversation with Sis Stefia. Stick and stay.